Hi guys, this is Zola. In today's video, you're going to learn about the 5 money traps to avoid in your 40s if you want to retire comfortably. This is the financial metaverse. So you're in your 40s or maybe approaching your 40s and you are probably feeling a lot more comfortable and confident about life. You're well settled in your career, maybe. You are feeling a lot more comfortable with your family situation, your children are growing, and you're a lot more optimistic and just comfortable about the way that life is going. Maybe, we hope so. But man, as you approach your 40s, or if you are in your 40s, there are some really dangerous financial traps that you need to be aware of. Now, it's very important that you watch this video to the end because any of these traps could potentially derail you from achieving your financial objectives and potentially being able to retire comfortably. Financial trap number 1, taking your health for granted. When I refer to health, I'm not just talking about physical health, but also mental and spiritual health. As the demands of life become more intense in our 40s, due to increased work responsibilities, a growing family, or just plain complacency, one of the first things that we may neglect is our health. Needless to say, this can have a severe negative impact on all other aspects of life, especially your finances. So be proactive about how you go about taking care of your health in your 40s. Make sure that you take care of your health by following a regular and consistent exercise program, eating healthy, going for regular health checkups, and nurturing your spirituality and your mental state of mind by practicing the art of meditation, prayer, meeting with like-minded people who add value to your life, and just practicing the attitude of financial trap number 2, overspending on your children. This is arguably one of the biggest expenditure items for those in their 40s. Now, I can attest to that as I'm in my 40s now and my children are growing and so are their demands. They want the latest gadgets, cell phones, tablets, computers, brand names in terms of fashion, clothing, you name it. And of course, we want to give the best for them in terms of their education or the schools that we choose to send them to, the extramural activities that we want them to do, and so forth. And so we need to be careful not to overspend, that we actually take time to plan out these expenses and ensure that they fall within the boundaries and the criteria that we have set for them. So it's important as well that we help our children to develop a sense of duty, responsibility, and appreciation for hard work and money, that we discipline them to learn the value of money at a young age so that they can appreciate and understand how money is created and how it can be used wisely. Now, one of the things that I have done with my children is to teach them entrepreneurship skills so that they can understand the value of creating value and be able to exchange value for money. And now they can use that money to, of course, achieve whatever objectives that they want to achieve. So it's important that we utilize the information that is available through the internet, because a lot of the skills that can produce income nowadays are freely available online. Things like coding, how to create a website, for example, how to design, graphic design, and all those skills can be learned relatively cheaply online, and children, especially teenagers, can be able to develop those skills and actually use those skills to generate some kind of an income that can enable them to develop that sense of responsibility and duty, where they can help support and sustain themselves as they grow up, so that when they become adults, they are responsible, they understand the value of money and how to exchange value for money and be able to continually develop and grow themselves in that regard. So it's not about the spending that is an issue, but the overspending on our children that becomes an issue when we don't plan for such expenditures and we just randomly fall, I guess, victim to sometimes the manipulation that children can be so good at times, and I know I've got 5 of these children myself. Financial trap number 3, investing too conservatively. Now, at this stage of your life, you need to know as much as you can about investing. you need to understand the different asset classes that are available, particularly growth assets, which by definition are instruments that have the potential to significantly outperform inflation, especially over the mid to long term. You need to have a significant amount of your wealth and money invested in such asset classes so that you can be able to grow your money at a rate that can enable you to achieve your financial objectives. Such instruments include shares, property, commodities like gold and silver, and more recently, cryptocurrency. It is important that you speak to a licensed financial planner to review your investment portfolio and look at your financial plan holistically so that it can be optimized and structured in a way that will enable you to achieve your financial objectives. Financial trap number 4, overspending on large purchases. Large purchases include things like a house, cars, luxury items, going on expensive holidays, and so on. It is not the spending on these items that is problematic, but the overspending on them without the necessary planning and foresight that needs to go with it. For example, if you were to upgrade from one neighborhood to a more affluent neighborhood, you not only need to take into consideration the cost of the purchase of the house, but also future expenditures such as the maintenance of the property, the rates and taxes, the insurance, the utilities, and other related expenses that go with such a purchase. So if those things are not planned correctly, these can have a devastating impact and be a huge strain on the finances. So make sure that you plan adequately when you are considering a large purchase like a house or a car, that you consider all the relative costs that go hand in hand with upgrading a property or a car, for argument's sake, or even going on holiday. Make sure that you plan well before time and you set the necessary finances to be able to acquire such large purchases. Money trap number 5, staying stagnant. This is probably one of the most dangerous money traps in your 40s, because life may be going well for you, you may be comfortable in your career, you may have figured out how to do things in life, and you generally feel well settled in life. And so the temptation to remain stagnant and to not grow and to just stay in your comfort zone can be overwhelming. So one of the most important things that we ought to have learned from this COVID pandemic is that life can be very fluid and changes can be very sudden and dramatic. And if we don't consistently improve our skill sets so that we remain relevant, especially within our careers, things can change very quickly for us and we might find ourselves in an uncomfortable financial situation, as I'm sure most of you can relate. So it's important that you upgrade your qualification, you go to school, you use the available information, that most of which is free on the internet, to be able to acquire skills that are relevant. I hope you found good value in this video. Please let me know by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell so you can be notified when I release the next video, and also so that I can know to release more content such as this